it has two units, right? Can you remember? It has two units, execution unit and bus interface unit. That all
Bus
we know.
interface unit.
Yes, absolutely right. That we have learned from the previous chapter, right? From chapter 1. And you know, in the execution unit, what you have seen, in the execution unit, you have seen some resistors. Can you remember that AX, BX, CX, DX, some flux resistors, ALU, right? So data segment, port segment, that sort of resistors we have seen in chapter 1. And when we are reading the figure, I told you that from chapter 3, we are going to have a great, we are going to have an elaborate description from chapter 3. So today, we are starting chapter 3 and we are expecting to see, first of all, some details about the chapter 3, that what we are going to see in chapter 3, the contents. Okay, first of all, look at this. You are going to have a very close look at the IBM personal computer, especially 8086 family. Now you can simply understand why they are saying it is a family, right? So family means what? There should be a generation over generation, right? So that means we can expect some other, not only 8086, maybe what are the other families came out from the 8086. Say for example, our human life, human family. We have parents, we have grandparents, we have grandparents, right? So it's expanding, right? Then we are going to have our son, right? So these are the, like, all we are under the family. So we will see that what are the other family members of this 8086 family. Okay, that is another part for of this chapter 3, and you are going to familiar with the resistors. I already told you what are the resistors. Not only the name of the resistors, we will see the category of the resistors. We will see the how the categories are formed, how the categories are developing. Okay, so that sort of things you will see. And idea of segmented memory also will be discussed. Segmented memory, so that you should understand segmented memory. That means the concept of the virtual memory will be there, concept of the physical memory will be there, concept of the segment itself, concept of the offset, how a 16-bit memory can contain 20-bit address. That sort of things we are going to have a look from there. Okay, not only that, also the overall structure of the IBM PC you are going to explore. Okay, and overall structure means the structure of the organization, the structure of the IO ports, and the DOS and BIOS routines. So these are the things that you are going to cover from chapter 3. Is that clear? So what did I say? We will have a look about the family. We are going to have a look about the resistors and the categories of the resistors, function of those resistors, then the segments, that means memory segments, definitely. And to learn the segments memory, then we are going to have a look what is called offset and virtual address, virtual memory, all these sort of things we will learn, and also the overall structure of this you are going to have a look. Is that clear? Is that clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's start with the first family. Now let's just have a quick look on that. That family consists of the IBM PC. Not only the PC, you see something else adding with the PC. That is called XT. That means earlier PC, it was not built-in hard disk drive. Now XT means you have the extended technology. Thus you are getting the PC or next family is improving by having the built-in storage devices, okay, hard disk drive. And then you are getting another computer, another family that's coming with the PC, like advanced technology. And then also is this advanced technologies you are considering, like uh, PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 models. So these are the things, the versions, the models for the family members. So you can say all these are the family members of 8086, because all these things are coming from the origin 8086. You see, so based on the Intel 8086 family. So whatever advanced technologies you are looking here, so all these advanced technologies only forming from where? 8086. Is that clear to everyone? Are you listening to me, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay, that's great. So now you can have a look. I just enable the waiting room, so at least I can see who's you are going out and coming in. Okay, all right. So now you can have a look. What's the like the model number? As we know that 8086 has some other family members, then we will see in a table that how we can map that this one belongs to his model, this one belongs to his model, this one belongs to his model. Okay, that will be a very nice table like this. Yeah, so look at this. It's 8086 includes like 8088, 80186, 80188, 80286, 80386, 80386SX, 80486 and 486 SX. So these are the family member, and as I already told you that whenever you are coming some changes with the 8086 model, then you are going to get the another new version of that, another new model of that. Okay, all right, now you can have a look, guys. I believe you are not sleeping, anyone, or falling in sleeping mood, are
No,
you?
sir. We are not
No,
listening, sir.
sir.
Calling in. We are listening, sir.
Okay, all right. Yeah, if you are falling or feeling dozy, yeah, the waiting room is started. I can see. So the Asma Sadia, she is trying to connect. Anyway, let her admit. Okay, so if you are feeling sleepy, then you should. What you will do? Tell me. Say if you are feeling sleepy, then what you should do? I want to learn from you. Anyone? Usually, what you do if you are feeling sleepy?
Sir.
Sir, drinking water.
Drinking water. Maybe if you want to wash your face, if you want to put some water on your face, you can do that. Okay, that will make you awake, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
anyway, but if you are thinking, sometimes we can see like students' feelings that they are not sleepy, they are listening the lecture. Actually, they are in sleeping mood, right? So make sure you are listening. Team. Okay. All right. Now the table, guys. Did you understand what we can understand by looking at this table? Are you looking the table, guys?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what message we are getting from the table? You see, at the left side you have the family models, right? And you are saying the technology's name here. Look at this 8086 family is coming, I mean PC and with the extended, I mean the storage devices, built-in storage devices, PC with the built-in storage devices. Then you are coming here 80286 from 8086, sorry 8088. Your 80286 is coming as PC with the advanced technology, and it is PS1, and 80186 PC computable laptop model. So the processor, IBM processor 80186, it is, you see the laptop, they are saying it is about the laptop, computable laptop model. And then all other models, like look at here, 8086, 80286, 386, and then the 486, it is PS2 model. So this is the updated one, the Angelina Rogerio. Okay. All right. So you understood, right, that how the technologies are mapping with the model of the family 8086 family models. Is
Sir,
that clear?
Yes, sir. So
Yeah.
here 80286. It uses the PC advanced technology and also PS2.
Yes, PS2. Yeah, the advanced technology, it is not only the PS1. So PS1 is also, I mean, the 80286, it's included the PS2. That means it's also upgrading, right?
Yes.
So model not changing, but they're upgrading the technology. Makes sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Now we are going to see one after another, and in the next slide. Okay, look at here. This is a difference, but it is your job. You have to tell me that which one is good and which one is bad. Look at these 80. So this is the difference between 8086 and 8088 microprocessor, right? So they are saying that Intel introduced, I mean, the year in which year they introduced the 86, 1978, and just after 1 year they are introducing the 8088. Look at this, 78 and 79. How many years gap?
1 year, sir.
Just simply 1 year gap, right? Within a year, we are going to have the new model 8088. So look at this, what is the changes actually? What are the changes? It has a 16-bit data bus, 8-bit data bus. Now try to understand the concept. It has a faster clock rate, definitely, because you have the wider data bus. You can pass the multiple or the more data in compared to the 808, because 808 it has 8-bit wide data bus, right? And here you have 16-bit wide data bus. Okay, does it make sense? But look at, definitely it should be faster because you have the wider data bus and thus has better performance. Yes, we understand that we have the wider data bus and that's why we have better performance. Great. Then after that, here if you look at the other side, 8088, it has a 8-bit data bus. That means what? It should be, the performance should be a little bit slower. Is that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is obvious. It is obvious. If it is 8-bit, definitely we can get the half performance of that, right? The speed will be half as compared to the 8086. But it was less expensive to build a computer. Does it make sense? So 8086, it was less expensive to compare. But then what is the benefit? Can you see the benefit of 8088?
The cost efficiency, sir.
Cost efficiency. That means it is not expensive. Say if 1,000 people has the ability to buy the 8086, maybe there will be double 2,000 people can afford 8088 because it is reasonable. Does it make sense? They can get the flavor of the computer not as fast as 8086, but they can grab the computer, right? They can afford. So they are making it cost effective. And that's why
Sir,
we can buy.
Sir, how 8088 is updated than 8086, sir? Sir, we can see that
it is updated according to the, it is updated according to the efficiency, I mean the cost effectiveness.
Yes.
Okay,
Because 8086, I told you, maybe 500 people can, if you are a rich, you can buy the 8086. because it is expensive, right? But the main intention for the 8088 that people will use the computer, they can get the computer with the reasonable price. It doesn't matter whether it is fast or slow. Does it make sense? So at least they can calculate something. They can use the machine to do some work, right? And they are not bothering about the speed with the 8086, but they are bothering that how large number of people or the community people, they can have use the computer. That is the intention. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
This is the main gap in between the 8086 and 8088. Now let's have a look how the time is changing, or the jump, they are taking a jump from 8086 and 8088 to the 80186 and 188. So that is the things you are going to have a look here. So look at this. They are saying that the 186 and 188 are enhanced version of the 8086 and 8088. Enhanced version. So if something enhanced, what do you think? The previous features, previous characteristics is totally omitted with the updated version?
No, sir.
No. So it will be there, whatever features, whatever characteristics you have with the 86 and 88, the same thing will be inside the 186 and 188. In addition, some other changes. Does it make sense? So then they are saying that it incorporates all the functions of 8086 and 8088 processor, you see? So 186 and 188 always incorporate. That means it inherit the 8086 and 88. Okay, that means whatever task, whatever activities you can do with the 86 and 88, the same things you can also do with the 186 and 188. Is this okay, guys, to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I believe you are listening my voice. Are you listening to me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good. Okay. So now you are saying that it executes some new instruction called the extended instruction set. Look at these. Maybe we are familiar with the instruction sets. Can you remember what is the concept of the instruction sets? Anyone, can you remember what is the call? When did we learn about the instruction set?
Yes, sir.
Who can help me? Yes, what do you understand?
Sir,
The instruction set.
sir,
in
instruction
bus
that
interface
performed
unit,
by
sir.
the CPU called instruction set.
Sorry, Abir, can you repeat it again, please?
Yes, sir. The instruction that we give, instruction performed by the CPU, that is called instruction set.
I believe you can remember. No, not that is called instruction set. The instruction that you are going to give CPU to execute that instruction, you need the instruction set. Does it make sense? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now what is instruction set? There are two functions there, two steps of the instruction sets. There are 5 instructions, and these 5 instructions you can divide it into 2. Can you remember what is that?
Sir,
You
page
forgot.
Face
And execute. Absolutely right. Thank you. Yes. As I said, you see, I told you the answer in different way. The 5 instructions you need in order to execute an instruction. These 5 instructions you are categorizing as a face and execute. Now they have some advanced thing with the instruction set, either in face or in execution. Does it make sense now? So they are coming with the little changes. right, with the instructions change. But again, they are saying this is not like a very big changes in compared to the 86 and 88. Look at this. The processor offered no significant advantage over the 8086 and 88. So the changes that you are looking at here, it is not enough. It is not as significant, not as very focusable changes, but there are some changes. Does it make sense? They are saying no significant advantage over the 8086 and 8088, and hence develop another one that is called the 286, 80286. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
That's why we are going to come up with the 286. What is the reason? That means the machine need to be more updated, right? The technology need to be more updated with the 8086. Okay, and that's why we are looking for another model. Okay, what is that? That is known as a 80286. Is that clear to everyone, guys? That what is the difference actually between the 86 and 88, and also how 186 and 188 different than the previous family members like 86 and 88. Okay, now look at these 80286. So in which year you are going to have this one? 1982. In 1982, and it is also 16-bit microprocessor. We have seen that IBM PC, it is 16-bit microprocessor, right? So it is also the 16-bit microprocessor and offer the following important advantage, advance over its processor. What are the following updated with the 80286? So look at here. 2 modes of operation. What is that? So this machine not only executing instruction in one mode, the operation will be handled in 2 different ways. You see, it operates on real address mode and protected virtual address mode. So what is real address mode and what is virtual address mode? We will just see in another chapters. But as I told you, when we are learning the segmented memory or the memory segment, the concept will be bit clear about the real address mode and the virtual address mode. But make sure real address mode you are just going to consider as a physical address mode. And for the virtual address mode, it will be more clear when we are looking at the bottom of this slide. We'll come to there. So more addressable memory. So you see, look at here, 2 mode of the operation. So instructions can be executed in 2 different way, like with the real address mode and also with the protected virtual address mode. So more addressable memory also coming with the 80286, and in protected mode can, you see, it's more addressable mode memory. What does it mean? So they are giving some hints here to understand the concept. So it protected mode and can address 16 megabytes of physical memory. 16 megabytes of physical memory as opposed to 1 megabyte of the 8086 and 8088. Look at this, that how biggest memory size you are using here in order to process, in order to execute an instruction by 80286. Does it make sense? So where 8086 and 88, the maximum capacity was 1 megabyte, and here you have the 16 megabyte of physical memory address. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is a huge change that we didn't able to see with the 86, 88, 186, 188. So we are getting this advantage with the 2 286. Does it make sense? Now look at the virtual memory in protected mode. Virtual memory in protected mode. We already familiar from here. Virtual things in protected mode. Say if I ask you, okay, if I give you a container, that container can contain say 2 liters water, or if I give you a bottle, and that bottle's maximum capacity is 2 liters of water. But if I ask you, can you pour 3 liters of waters into this 2 liters capacity bottle? Can you do that?
Sir. No, sir.
You cannot. Is that clear? So this is the scenario. Now the virtual memory help us when we have a small memory size, but our data size is bigger. How processor process or execute these bigger size instruction using this small size memory? That is the concept of virtual memory. Does it make sense? And this concept we will recall when we are calculating the physical address. 20 bits physical address can be stored in 16 bits capacities memory size. Is that clear? Guys, is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
That means if I give you a very small memory and then asking you, okay, fit a very big chunk of data into that small memory, which is quite impossible to fit and to process the words, right? So that is the concept. That's why the virtual technique is coming with us. Look at here. A street external storage, that is a disk. Okay, external storage. You can consider a external hard disk as if it were a physical memory, and therefore execute programs are too large to be contained in physical memory. But we know that we have a physical memory 16 bits, right? It's the maximum capacity for the IBM PC. That means a word 16 bits. But how it's possible to fit 20 bits long address into a 16 bits memory size? That's why we have to get the help. We have to take the advantage of the virtual memory in protected mode. Okay, is that clear? Then what are the main enhancement with the 186 and 286? Sorry, 188 and 1. Yes. What are the enhancement or the development with the 80286? These are the development. So it can work in two different way. One is the real address mode. Another one is protected virtual mode. And also it has the more capacity, more addressable memory. As we have seen, is 16 megabyte, not only 1 megabyte as like as a 88 and 886, right? And yeah, we learned the concept of the virtual memory. Who is raised the hand? Dola Khatun.
Sir, Shampa Ahmed was disconnected. Now she wanted to reconnect to class, but she is in waiting room.
Okay, let me check the waiting room. Where is the waiting room?
I already joined.
Oh, she already rejoined. Yes, that's why I cannot see anyone in the waiting room. Maybe Shampa sent you the email earlier, but you were late to see her email, message.
Yes.
Anyway, no problem. Thank you so much, Dola Khatun, for passing the message. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So is that clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
The concept of 80286. Okay, that's good. Now we are going to have a look another family member that is called 386. Okay, and then there is a like little changes coming with the 386. That's giving the name 80386SX. Okay, So this SX, it is another version of the, just its behavior as like as 386, but there will be a little changes. I believe you already noticed what is changes. So look at this now. Earlier we have seen, can you see where is the biggest changes with the 80386?
It is 32 bits, sir.
Absolutely right. Look at this. It's going to be more faster. The performance is going to be more.
It can address 4 gigabytes of physical memory.
Yes, it is.
16 megabytes, sir.
Yes, look at that. So now it is 32-bit microprocessors you are going to have with you if it is 80386. And then they are giving the year, which earlier it was 82. After 3 years we are coming like 386, and much faster than the 80286. Definitely it's supposed to be faster, because if we look at here we can simply understand the performance of this machine, right? So it is not like a rocket science to understand this one. Okay, another, address 4 gigabytes. Earlier we had the concept about the megabyte. Now you are jumping to the gigabyte. Does it make sense? Of physical memory, and 64 terabytes of virtual memory. 64 terabytes. So even you have the both flavor, megabyte, gigabyte and terabyte with the 80386. But they are, as I said, little changes coming with the 80386. That is, they have also the same internal structure as like as 386, but it has only a 16-bit data bus. The same concept you can also recall, a difference between 8086 and 8088. Can you remember? So simply you can make little bit. So this one going to be little bit slower, but you are going to have the same facilities of the faster, like this, for the bigger space with that. Does it make sense? With this machine, it is maybe little bit expensive, but this one will be a little bit cheaper. When you are here, you are getting all the biggest memory as well as the speed. But here you have the little less speed, but you have the same memory size. Does it make sense? Is that clear? Guys, is that clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if maybe I can ask you, what is the main difference in between the 80386 and 80386 SX? You should understand, the things should be clear. Okay? All right. So now can I ask you one thing, guys? Can you give me an honest answer? How many students you have pen and paper with you at this moment?
I have.
Raise up your hand. Raise up your virtual hand.
Oh,
Okay, seven students only out of 9 students, 10 students, 12, 14, 15, 16. Okay, good. Thank you so much. I believe many students you have the pen and paper with you. That's really a good practice. You see, sometimes you have to take a note. As I said that, what is the main difference between 80386 and 8038SX? I explained what is the main difference, right? Did you take a note? Maybe you cannot see whatever I have told you or I have discussed with you in the book. Okay, so that's why you have to take a note sometimes in your own way. Okay, so that can help you a lot during the exam. So now we are going to jump to the another one, that how we are going to get little bit more faster, that is in compared to the 80386. So let's have a look. Then the another one, 80486. Okay, so this 486 also coming like with the 486SX. So now you can have a look very simply that another 32-bit microprocessor here. I mean, this is also 32-bit microprocessor 80486, and it is coming 89. And look at these fastest and most powerful processor in the family. So which one is the most powerful in the family? 80386 or 486?
80486.
80486. Now why it is most powerful, that is our concern, right? That's what we need to know, that why it is taking a jump over the all family members, right? So look at this. First of all, it performs floating point number operation. So this is a kind of new addition with the families, okay, with this model 486. So this 486 can able or it can be calculates the the floating points number. You know the floating points number, that means the number that can processed with the decimal points, right? So, and another things is coming that is known as a cache. Do you know what is cache? You see 8 KB cache memory that serve as fast memory area to buffer data coming from the slower memory unit. Now tell me, guys, can you read these points, bullet points, number 4, and try to understand what is the meaning of it? I want to know your feedback. I believe you are reading the bullet points 4. Did you finish that? Is that clear to everyone? Are you listening to me, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, did you finish with the reading?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, now I will ask some of you to give your feedback. Who you want to give your feedback? Raise up your virtual hand. I can see. I can see Humaira Afrin, Shaun Ahmed, then Onunna Nizu, and then how many? 6 participants only you want to share. That means only 5 participants. You want to, you understood the things, or the 4 participants. Hand is putting down again. So how about the other student? If you don't want to share your understanding, that means you didn't understand it. Is that, am I right or wrong? Am I right or wrong? Tell me. Are you listening to me, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So only 4 students you understood. How about the other students? So my concern is cache. Do we really know what is cache, the concept of cache? Have you learned about the cache memory when you are taking like course computer organization and architecture?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That is a kind
Yes,
of, sir, temporary memory, sir.
Yes. Then what else you can add with the cache memory?
Sir,
Increase the memory performance.
Increase the memory.
Sir, it is
performance.
faster than main memory, and it is light between main memory and CPU.
Sorry, I didn't get it. Can you repeat it, Humaira?
Yes, sir. I said that it is light between main memory and CPU, and it is faster than main memory, sir.
It is faster than main memory, and
Yes,
then
sir.
slower than the.
Sir, it situated in between main memory and CPU.
sir, it works as a via, sir. CPU and main memory, sir. Sir.
Yes,
in terms
Humaira,
of-
you are right.
Yes, sir.
Humaira is right, but she didn't mention that it is faster. She mentioned it is faster than the main memory. Look at this. That's why it is saying that coming from the slower memory unit. Which one? It is slower. It is faster than the main memory. What does it mean? It is faster than the RAM.
RAM. Yes.
Does
Yes,
it make
sir.
sense?
Yes,
Don't
sir.
be
It is faster
confused.
than the-
Okay, now we are saying cache memory in the middle of the CPU and main memory. Okay, so cache memory is faster than the main memory but slower than the CPU. So when CPU processing an instruction, first it looks whether the content is available into the cache or not.
Yes, sir.
If it is available in the cache, CPU doesn't need to spend the time to find the content from the main memory. Does it make sense? Because CPU simply, it can get it from the cache memory and what can be done. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
But it is also kind of temporary memory. You are right. Those who you were saying that. Okay, so this kind of concept of the cache memory is coming with the what should I say, 80486. You see all these memory, the cache memory, what is the reason to make it move faster? You just want to make your machine move faster, right? Okay, and then you were saying that what is the difference between the 486 SX and 486? You see the same thing you are getting with the 486 but without floating point processors. You are going to have the memory faster, but that capacity will not reach the 80486. Does it make sense? Is that clear, guys?
Yes,
That what is
sir.
the difference between 486 and 486SX? Okay. All right. So this is about the family. Now we are going to have a look little bit another. So any questions so far? Any query about the family?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. Now we are going to have a look another part that is called the
Sir, previous slide, sir. Previous slide, sir. Sir, but without the floating point processor, sir, what is the objective of floating?
Yes, floating point, that means you cannot work with the decimal points number. You can calculate you can enjoy whatever features you have with the 80486. Only the floating points features will be missed from this one. Okay. And that's the main difference. Okay. So it is the I don't know what is that. Okay, all right. Now we are going to have a look. The resistors, you know, I believe from chapter 1 and chapter 2. Guys, can you give me just few seconds?
Of course,
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
of course.
Guys, can you listen me? Are you listening me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm so sorry. It was a kind of phone, like one of my relative. Okay, I cannot ignore that one. That's why. Anyway, yes, resistors. So in the first chapter, we already familiar with the resistors, right?
Yes, sir.
And we also know that what is the difference between resistors and the memory. Do we know or we don't know?
Yes, sir, we know, sir. We know it, sir.
We know it. Who is speaking? Istiak Ahmed. Mr. Istiak. I guess that only you know, others they don't know. Am I right or wrong?
No, sir, we already know, sir.
Great. Who is this? Shahana. Shahana's, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Mr. Istiak, can I have a request to you? Can you just tell us what is the difference between memory and resistor, just quickly?
So register which we can identify by name, sir, and the memory, sir, which we can identify by number as address.
Yes, this is the one of the significant difference in between resistors and the memory. I believe everyone, you understood what Mr. Istiak said, right? He mentioned that memory you can simply address by assigning some, memory space you can assign by giving some number that is known as address, right? As I mentioned earlier, right? But resistors you cannot specify by giving the number. You are just saying, or you are identifying the resistors by giving the name. That is but the purpose same. The memory and the resistors, the purpose, you are storing the data into that. You can store the data into the resistor. You can also store the data into the memory. Does it make sense? But when CPU using the resistors, that's going to be a little faster. Does it make sense? So we will see that how we can define resistors basically. You see they are saying, it's mentioned here, information inside the microprocessor is stored in resistors. So when microprocessor trying to execute an instructions, so where all the opcode and operands are storing inside the resistors. We will see how many resistors we have. You have the different categories of the resistors. You can classify the resistors. Okay, how you can classify the resistors? You can classify the resistors according to their function, according to their behavior. Is that clear to you guys? Are you listening to me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We are just going to see the types of the resistors, but how we can create the types, how we can classify among the resistors. We will classify according to that resistors functionality. Okay, you see, look at here, classify according to the function they perform. So now you have three sort of resistors that we already introduced in chapter 1. The first one is data resistors, address resistors, and the status resistors. So status resistors, you know, that's known as a flag resistors. So all together you are going to have a look like 14 16-bit resistors, 14 16-bit resistors. Does it make sense? So how many types of resistors we are going to see? How many categories of resistors we are going to see?
3.
3. Yes. Why are you taking the time to say 3? So what are the categories? The first
Data,
one?
Data register, address register,
data, address, and
status.
status.
Yes. So what is the function of the data resistors? Definitely it should be
Store data.
concerned with the data, right? You see, resistors, data resistors hold the data for an operation. As I said, operations are processing by the microprocessor, right? And the related data will be stored into the data registers. Okay, and address registers hold the address of an instruction or the data. Address registers always hold the address of the instructions or the data. A status registers keep the current status of the processor. You know the status registers, as I mentioned, what should I say? The flag registers, right?
Yes, sir.
The flag registers you are going to consider as a status registers.
Correct, sir.
Now there are, you see, all together 14 registers. It will be more clear from the next slide. Can you see the picture? The figure?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Guys? Okay, look at this. The first few resistors, we are going to get the, like here, data resistors, address resistors, and status resistors. So now look at this, the resistors. We know AX, accumulator resistors, base resistors, count resistor, data resistor, code segment, data segment, stack segment, extended segment, source index, destination index, stack pointer, base pointer, instruction pointer. I mentioned all the name of the resistors. Can you remember all these? Can you remember all these, guys?
No,
So all
sir.
the resistors.
No,
Yeah,
sir.
good. No? Why? Okay, you need
Sir,
practice.
can
You
you-
can. I mentioned, yes, we are going to have a look. Let me tell you again. This is accumulator resistors, base resistors, count resistors, data resistor, code segment. You see, these we are going to have a look. These four resistors are going to be considered as a general purpose resistors. Okay, so now you are going to have the code segment, data segment, stack segment, extended segment, source index, destination index, stack pointer, base pointer, and instruction pointer. Okay, so all these are the, it will come to us again, no worry. So just keep in your mind that we have the 14 resistors. Okay, and look at here, the most important thing is here with the data resistor. Do you understand why it is C, like DH and DL, CH and CL, BH and BL, AH and AL?
Yes, sir.
What does it
Higher
mean?
bite off and lower bite off.
Absolutely right. Yes, Moira, thank you so much. It's represent the, you see, the lower byte of the data resistors, and this is the higher byte of the data resistor. This is lower byte of the, how many bits? 60, I mean this is 16 bits resistor, right?
Yes,
That
sir.
means 0 to
0 to
7,
7.
lower byte, 8 to 15,
Higher
it is higher byte. So don't be confused. It will come to us again. When we are learning the accumulator resistors, you have to recall that one. This one. That's why I'm just telling you a little bit earlier, so you can recall the same thing. Okay. As a programmer, you have to know this concept. Okay. All right. Is that clear? Any questions from here so far?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Now we are going to have a look a little details about all the general purpose resistors. We are saying that data resistors like AX, BX, CX, and DX. So don't think that this is data resistors, because you know all basically DX we are representing as a data resistors, right? Basically all these four resistors you are going to refer as a general purpose resistors. Okay, what does it mean, general purpose resistors? What is the concept? Look at the bottom, at the last bullet points here. These four resistors are to being general purpose resistors. What does it mean, general purpose resistors? Can you tell me? Why it is general purpose resistors? Why you are saying? We know that AX, BX, CX, and DX, four resistors, right? These four resistors you are saying the general purpose resistor. What does it mean, general? You see, you are a student of computer science and engineering department, right? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Then why do you need to take the course physics, chemistry, ART, and what else? I don't know. These are the general course, right?
Yes, sir.
Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
But if you don't complete the physics, are you going to complete your graduation degree?
Prerequisite, sir.
It is general course. You have to take this one, unless you are getting some waiver or what's the other things called. So this general means it is the course for everyone. You are only you are from the CSC department. No, students coming from the mechanical department, they have to also take the physics, and they have to take also the CSC 103. CSC 103 also we are considering as a general. All the students, am I right? All the students, they have to take the course CSC 103. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir, right.
Yes. So if it is general, that means you have to take that course. But what is the concept that we can align with these resistors? Yes. When you are a programmer, you can use these 4 resistors as a general purpose resistors. We will see how it can be used as a general purpose. Not only for the mathematical thing, I mean, not only for the arithmetic and other things, logical things, maybe for other purpose you can also use, okay? So these general purpose resistors are using by the programmer, like people like you, for the general data manipulation. You know the manipulation, I believe you know it. What is the meaning of the manipulation? What is the meaning of the manipulation, guys?
Sir, changes.
Changes.
Yes.
Only changes? Yeah, I do accept. Yes.
So
Manipulation, that means whatever. Yeah. Go ahead.
So like upgrade or like deduct something or add something.
Absolutely right. Whatever engineering you are doing with the data, that is going to be referred as a manipulation with that
Any
particular
change.
data, right? So when you are doing this engineering, storing, updating, deleting, restoring, modifying, whatever, as a programmer, you can do that, right? You need to use this kind of general purpose resistors in order to execute your program or instructions. Does it make sense? So that is the point. And they are also saying that instruction is faster if the data are stored in a resistors. So you are saying that instructions are going to be processed so quickly. That's why it's require fewer clock cycle. If it is needed like less number of clock cycle, the clock cycle, that means who is this? Ferdowsi Akhtar and Dolon Akhtar. Guys, anyone, do you know that Ferdowsi Akhtar and Dolon Akhtar, they were connected, or they are just connecting for the first time?
No, sir. Dolon Akhtar was connected.
Okay, all right. And how about the Ferdowsi Akhtar?
She also connected.
So she was connected.
I can see the statistics, no problem. Okay, all right. So yes. So now let's have a look that if you are storing something in the resistor, definitely it is going to be faster. Okay, and because that's why you are saying CPU is always faster than the cache memory, and also in compared to the main memory, because all the resistors are coming inside the CPU. We have seen inside the execution unit, right? All the resistors are there. And whatever modern computer system you are looking, all the computers are coming with this kind of resistors. Okay, look at this. Modern processors are coming with this kind of resistors. And look at here, the high and low byte of the data resistors can be accessed separately. So all these general purpose resistors, as a programmer, you can have access. Only the portion of the resistor, like lower byte of the accumulator resistors or the higher byte of the base resistors or the data resistors, separately you can access, okay, by writing the instruction or by writing the assembly code. And these 4 resistors, as I already mentioned, you are considering as a general purpose resistors. So guys, any questions from this slide? Any query? Any query, any difficulties?
No queries, sir.
Okay, all right. Then we can go for the next one. Yes, now you can see the accumulator resistor here. You are giving the name of the resistors. We are just getting the basic idea of the resistors from the previous slide. Now we are going to focus on particular general purpose resistors. That first one, accumulator resistors, and you are saying you are using, you see that it's preferred to use in arithmetic, logic and transfer instructions. And this, like when you are using the instruction like arithmetic instruction like multiplication and division operation, maybe you can use the lower part of the resistors or higher part of the resistors, right? In order to, when you are doing the multiplication, anyone, have you done the binary multiplication and division? Do you have the experience about the binary multiplication and division? No feedback? No one, you did the binary multiplication?
No, sir.
How?
In the fundamental
Oh,
Yes,
then,
sir. We
then
do.
you did. Who you have done the binary multiplication? You see, it is as like a arithmetic multiplication and then binary addition.
Same.
Sir, maybe we
Same.
did in ICT course. Like,
But you forgot.
the fundamental course we have done it.
Yes,
That
sir.
means you didn't.
PC
That means you didn't
We
learn
have
the
done.
concept clearly. Or maybe you learned but you are not practicing. That's how you forgot, right? Okay. Anyway, so the division means you need simple arithmetic division and the binary subtraction. So that's why last day I told you computers only know how to perform the addition, because you know how we can do the subtraction by doing the addition, right? By addition and the bit complementation, you are doing the subtraction. Can you remember from chapter 2? Okay, so when you are doing or performing this kind of operation, you are going to have use these accumulator resistors. Not only that, when you are using some input and output operation, also you need to use the lower part of the accumulator resistors. Because did you understand what does it mean actually, the input and output operations? Anyone? That how it is related with the accumulator. Say you are writing one assembly program just to print out the hello world. You have to take the input hello world, right?
Yes, sir.
Where you are going to store this string.
So in
Maybe the lower byte
yes.
of the data registers. And say you want to print not on the screen, but you want to print on the documents, like the way you are printing, but you want to print by writing assembly code from the printer, the hard copy you want to make it. Definitely you have to have the access of the output devices as well, right? Even you have to write the code when you are visualizing or printing the result on the screen as well. So in that purpose also, you have to use these general purpose resistors, like accumulator resistors. Make sense? Is that clear to everyone, guys? Are you listening to me, guys?
Yes, sir.
Listen.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay, all right. Then you are going to have a look at another resistors. These resistors, I will give you little time. You will look it by yourself and you are going to tell me who you are going to get the concept of this. It is your job. I will give you 3 minutes and your time is started. And you should turn on your cam. You are just reading this slide and understanding the message, that what kind of message we are getting and whether the concept is clear to us or not for the base resistors. You are not turning on your cam. Yes, many students. Okay, now I can see you. Try to get the concept or the message. Can you see the slide, guys? Can you see the slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Just I will take a minute to drink a little bit water, and also I need to turn on the light. Yes, Sadia Tabassum, can you hear me? Sadia Tabassum. Yes, what's your understanding? What did you understand, Sadia?
Yes, sir.
What did you understand after reading these slides? Did you understand anything? Can you hear me, Sadia?
Yes, sir. I am hearing you.
Yes, I'm asking you some questions. That what's your understanding about this slide? Did you understand anything? If you don't say, sorry sir, I don't understand.
Yes, sir. I missed some topic for your voice is breaking up.
I didn't say anything about this slide. I said it is your job. You have to read it and try to understand the concept. I didn't give any explanation.
Sir, I can try again.
Okay, try again. And then we can go for the another one. Anyone, are you interested? Anyone? Anyone? This is open to everyone. Yes, Mr. Abid. Mr. Abid, Mehdi Hassan Abid, are you listening to me?
Yes, sir. I listen you, sir.
Yes. What did you understand, Abid, from this?
Actually, sir, don't understand clearly. It actually confused me.
Confused.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what you have understand? I mean, what's your understanding? Just share with us. No problem. I will tell you the concept.
Sir, here actually in base register there will be several topics. Like here I see that the table lookup, it will be the example of a address register that serve the address register. It's also called the XL80, that will be maybe the translator something, translate the code or instruction. Then there will be locate a byte entry in table in memory. Actually, sir, I cannot understand this line. And the last thing, the copies the content of the table entry the back into AL register. Here will be maybe, sir, the content of the table that will be maybe copy into the accumulator register from table to accumulator.
All right. You see, first of all, let me tell you a very simple way. So this is a command, assembly command. Okay. What is the meaning of this command? They are trying to explain the last two bullet points. Okay, so locate a byte entry in a table in memory. So in a memory there will be a table. A table means what? You know, in a table we can see some row and column, right? Is that we can see a row and column, a kind of matrix, right? And using the content of the AL resistors as a table index, using the content, whatever content you have in the memory of the AL resistors as a table index. Now the two things, like if I ask you, I'm giving you a 400 pages book, and if I ask you, I'm giving 4 students student number 1, 2, 3, 4 students. All you have the same book, 400 pages thick book. And I'm asking you, can you find the word, say, medicine? Medicine. You are going to find the word medicine from the 400 pages book. How do you find the word so quickly? If you
So
want
by
to,
showing an index M letter.
you came to the point. Those who is following or going to the index, sometime it is coming at the back side of the book, you will go to the M, you will find the medicine, page number 385, right? And those who doesn't know that how to search the word, what is the application of the index, is he going to be the faster one to get the word medicine? He will just see, where is that one? Does it make sense? What is the advantage of having the index? And here you see, say you are writing a assembly code in order to create some searching or in order to create some indexing. Definitely you have to have some command, right? So you are using this kind of command, the XLT. That commands basically you are using for searching, okay? Searching in a table. And how this is work, that's what they are saying here. Basically it is locates. You know, definitely when you are using this one, you have to store the data, that what you are looking for, from where you are applying the searching, in which memory area, right? So all the things should be stored into the registers. So base registers, they are using for that particular purpose. It doesn't mean that base registers cannot be used for any other purpose, because at the very beginning we learned these 4 registers are general purpose registers. You can use the base registers other purpose as well. But you see, when you are creating some index for searching a particular word in a table in the memory, in that case you are using this base register. Up to this, it's clear the purpose of the base register. Now the question is, how does it work, this searching table? That's what they are giving little more information here. Locate a byte entry in a table in memory and is using the content of the, from where its content is coming. You have to give the content that will be stored in the L, the lower byte of the accumulated register, as a table index. So whatever content you have, the lower byte always used as the index, right? And this index, look at this, copy the content of the table, entry back into the L register. So whenever you have the copy of the index, then you are just, after finding the information, you are just again going to replace to the lower part of the accumulator registers. Does it make sense? That how the base registers work. So it is just for when you say, for example, you are going to implement, you need to write to implement, what should I say, some sort of searching tool using the machine language or the assembly language. So that sort of concept you can simply apply. The base registers can be used, okay? And look at these. The base registers, we are saying general purpose registers. So base register will have the relation with the AL as well. Does it make sense? AL is the lower portion of the accumulated registers, right? So you are just going to have the relationship. So maybe you can store, you can use the lower part. That's why we have seen that as a programmer, you can separately access the lower byte and the upper byte of the general purpose registers. Is that clear? Did I tell you that? The separately, can you remember? The separately you can access the 2 different part of the registers. Clear to everyone, guys? Or any confusion here? Guys, no feedback?
Not yet, sir.
Yes, is this clear or not yet? If it is not clear, then you have to tell me at which point you are not clear, so I can help you then. Or you didn't understand what is your problem or confusion? Are you listening to me, guys?
Sir,
Yes.
you please repeat, sir. How does it work, sir?
Yes, as I said that when the address registers you are using, you see these base registers, we are saying the base register, it is works as like a address registers. Does it make sense? What are the address registers? We know that code segment, data segment, these are the address registers. Can you remember?
Yes, sir.
So here base, we are saying it is general purpose register, but it is works as like a address registers. So when in which purpose you are, when it is works as like a address register, that's why they are giving an example. So for example, you are going to find out, you are going to search some information. You need to search by using some keyword, right? Does it make sense? You need to use some keyword. Say for example in Google, how do you search some information? In Google, how do you perform the search option? You are giving some keyword, right?
Yes,
Am I
sir.
right or wrong? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Here the similar thing, the processor, how processor searching some information. So in order to search, in order to implement the searching technique, processor use the base registers. Okay, and it works as like a address register. The base register, it is not the address registers. Do you think base register is a address register? No, base register is a general registers, right? So to perform the searching technique, base registers use like the microprocessor use the instruction like XLAT. So it is a works as like a translator. It's just translate that from where to where you have to find the data. As I said, if you want to find something, if you want to search something, I gave you an example of the book, right? Say if I give you one book and ask you find the word university, how do you go? I'm giving you the word, you are preserving or listening the word university. It is in your mind, right? And then you are searching in the book, where is the word in the book? In which number of page? How do you search? Are you going to search it page by page? That where is the word university?
Okay.
Then how do you search? Definitely you should go to the index, right? Do you know the index? Anyone, have you seen the index in your book?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Where it is? In the back side or in the front side?
On site.
Front side.
Index in the front side. I'm not talking about the, like, what should I say, table of the content. I'm talking about the index. Most of the time index coming at the back side.
Yes, sir.
Like A, then what are the words with the A? B, what are the words with the B? This is also kind of indexing, right? Have you seen that one in your book?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so maybe in your, no, not this one, MIS. In MIS book, you can see that one, the index. Okay, so if you go to the index and you will quickly find where is the character U, because my searching word is university, right? So I have to go to the U and then I can see, okay, U, and then there is a university in page number maybe 300. You are going to page number 300 to see what is details about the university. Does it make sense? So to find this kind of information or to locate some information, microprocessor using these kind of registers, the base registers, but basically it works as like a address registers. I believe you are going to read the book. It will be more clear when you have the book with you. I'm not sure. Did I give you the chapter 3?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Check the module. I'm not sure. I will check. If it is not there, I will do that one. Okay.
Sir, no more today, sir.
Why? What is the time? still I have 30 minutes. Right?
All of you are sleepy mood, sir.
No. Please don't fall on sleep.
I have to Maghrib prayer, sir.
Sorry? Yes, Maghrib prayer. We will finish after 10 to 15 minutes, then you will go for the Maghrib prayer, okay? It just started, no problem. And if you want to, like, what should I say? Because this is a very critical time, this class time, right? I don't have the classes, even I cannot prepone the class time as well. Maybe some of you are engaged with the other classes, you are not free. So no way, we have to just wait a little bit. So now let's have a look. The two other resistors here, you are considering as a count resistors. So it's very simple. What would be the application of the count resistor? So if you want to implement, are you listening to me, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. The count resistor, like if you want to implement some loop, then you have to use this count resistor. Now if I ask you, anyone, can you tell me the structure of the loop? What is the structure of the loop? Or the syntax of the for loop?
Sir.
Or the structure of the for loop? Yes.
Sir, initialization, condition, then increment or decrement.
That means incrementer, I mean the increment or the decrement, right? You see the count, you are counting. So for that purpose, for the counting purpose, microprocessor use this kind of resistors, the CX resistors. You see, program loop constructions are facilitated. So this is the main purpose, and you see serve, it works as like a loop counter, and control a special class of instruction that is called string operation. So string operation, you have to understand, you know the string, right? Do you know what is called the string? Guys, do you know what is?
Yes, sir.
Yes. What is called the string?
Collection of character.
Yes, it's a collection of bits, bit strings, or collection of characters, definitely. Now, you see this string operation, we can see when we are going to have a look, the rotation and the shift. Okay, two concepts. Rotation and the shift, that we are going to learn a bit detail from the chapter 6. Okay, so rotation, I will just try to give you a concept. So next day, it will be helpful or useful when I'm giving you the class on this rotation and the shift. So what does it mean, shift? If I'm giving you two box A1, box 2, you have some data in box 1, and I'm going to ask you, can you shift the data from box 1 to box 2? What you are going to do? You are going to take the data from bit from box 1 to box 2, right? You are changing the location. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
So how many
Right,
bits?
sir.
How many bits you are shifting? And who will count that? That's why CX. Count resistor will count that. Does it make sense?
Yes,
And then rotation means the same concept. You are shifting, earlier you shifted. You are shifting one bit from here to there. Now again you are repeating the shifting process, is becoming the rotation. Say the bit you are shifting to the box 2, from box 2 again bit is coming to the box 1. Again it's moving to the 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. How many times you are rotating? Rotating means you are just keep on exchanging the data one after another. So it's that how many times you are going to shift and rotate, that will be counted using this kind of count resistor. Does it make sense? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Because when we are writing the assembly program, you see this kind of concept we need. Okay, and DX, it is simple, as we already described during the accumulator resistors. Why did you raise up your hand? 3 participants raise up your hand.
Sir, sir, can I leave the class, sir? Actually, I feel pain in my ear. From the morning, I just doing the classes.
And I can see also you just wake up from the sleepy mood, right?
Sir, no, sir, I'm not sleeping, sir. I am sick.
You are sick. Okay. If you are sick, you don't need to stay with us. You can just leave and take care about yourself. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right.
Have how much time, sir?
Who is this speaking?
Tony Sharkar, sir.
Check your watch if you have, or on the monitor. Okay. All right. This is not the question that you can ask your teacher. Okay. Ask me that what does it mean DX or something different. All right. If it is time, I will. You see, I have different clock with me. Do you want to see that? Yes, this sir. One on the screen I have also. So if it is time, I will just tell you that it is time, no more today. You can trust on me. I'm not going to get the extra time that is beyond our allocated time. Okay, so whatever time allocated for us, I will try to take that one. And you should think positively. You should support me to give you to use our time, right? Yes. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir, you're right.
Yes. Okay. And this is our allocated time. University gave us these 2 hours for our study purpose, right? So it's if you have any questions, if you have any clarification, always we can go for that one, right? I know this is 2 hours class. Sometimes many of you can feel bored, right? But again, no other option. If you need to change, did I take your attendance, guys?
No, sir.
Okay, maybe after a few minutes. What is the time now? Okay, let me take your attendance. After that, I will finish with this slide. Okay. So this DX data resistors, again, you are using for some arithmetic operations. You can store the data. Not only that, also you can use for the I/O operation. So these are the 4 general purpose resistors. Don't forget AX, accumulator resistors, base resistors, count resistors, and then the data resistors. Okay. Now, can I ask some of you that how many students did you install IMO 8086 simulator?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How many students? 4 participants. Only 4 hands I can see. That means, okay, 5, 6. Only 5 students you installed the IMO 8086 simulator. How about the other students? Did I tell you to install that one or not? 7 students. I can see 8 students. Only 8, 9 students. It's increasing. Okay, let's see how many you install. I believe you are going to give me the honest answer. If you don't install, just you don't need to raise up your hand. Okay, so for 9 students that I saw on the screen, you install IMO 8086. How about the other students? You don't need to install that one? What do you think? Guys, I have given you